So in the previous video, we learned how to install MintPy. So I have installed MintPy 1.6.2. Now from this part, the topics are little interesting because when you are a beginner, so many beginners immediately try to run the MintPy workflow. But however, before processing any data, it is important that first you understand the files in the MintPy or the files that MintPy uses. So today in this video we will explore about the most important MintPy files and also understand how they fit into the overall SAR workflow. So when we usually what we do is we download the Sentinel SAR images and then we go through the ISE2 or ISE and then we'll create the interferograms and then we'll go for the MintPy. And then after that in the MintPy, we'll go for the time series, velocity maps, and displacement products. So here we say MintPy is not usually the first step. MintPy works on the interferometric products that are generated by software such as ISE. So here there are two ways. Either you can download the data, raw data, Sentinel data from Copernicus or Alaska, and then you can do it. Or you also have interferogram creation in Alaska. So you can directly go to that site and then you can create the interferograms. And after that, you can finally download the whole stack and then you can start doing the MintPy processing. So here we'll just explain you clearly each and every part like interferogram stack. Um, so here this is the most important file because MintPy processing will start with the interferograms. So here, if you are taking a huge area, in that you need to create the interferograms, you need to have the coherence information, you need to have the acquisition date, and you need to have the phase measurements. So without this, MintPy cannot perform any kind of time series analysis. So this interferogram stack is very much important during the installation. So when you go for a particular area study, you will just take like 10, 20, 10, 15 years data. So whatever the data you have to keep everything frame by frame. That means time, like every 12 days or every 1 month, you take the data and then you create a stack and that stack first starts with the interferogram. So you keep all the interferograms together into a stack and then we start the reconstruction of the deformation or the subsidence through the time. So that is why interferogram stack is first important thing. And the second thing is geometry or it's a geo.h5. That means uh, these files contain generally the names are just geometry. So it contains latitude, longitude, the incidence angle, and the elevation. So MintPy uses this information particularly to understand like where each pixel exists on the surface of the earth. So this is the second important thing. The first is interferogram, the second is the geometry, and the third is the time series. This is very important. This is usually generated by MintPy. So both before that interferogram and then the geometry, you can get it from the sources outside, or you can process through ISCE, and then you can get these details. But MintPy generates the time series. So it contains displacement values through the time from 2017 to 2024. So this time series, in this time, MintPy will create the displacement. Now we are moving from the single interferogram to continuous deformation history in this time series. And after that, we get an output called velocity. Here, this contains average deformation rate. That means it contains usually mm per year. So this is more like the final product. So it can be used in landslide monitoring. It can be used in subsidence studies. It can be used in infrastructure deformation. So if you want to see, I'll in the coming videos I'll show you how the data looks like and how this output looks like and what kind of commands should we give to create. So first thing is, when you have the electrophotogram, you don't get the final result. So you need to go through the different steps of interferogram, and then we go for MintPy processing, and then we go for the time series. Then we get the velocity. So you try to watch each and every video in this and understand the concept, what I'm explaining, so that when you are going for any kind of a processing in the MintPy, if it is asking you for some set of instructions that these are missing, so at least you'll understand what is it and why is it needed. Please do watch the other videos and do subscribe for Geoscience Engineering, and please continue watching the series, and then you please let me know anything through the comment so I can clarify your questions. Thank you for watching.